The world is going crazy. So crazy, in fact, that we have NFL stars robbing people at gunpoint. What is happening? What is going on? I kind of got into a little groove there, where, let me adjust my mic here. Let me make sure it sounds okay. I apologize if I sound really, really loud. I'm adjusting my mic. There we go. Okay, that's even less now. But I don't know if you all saw the news. It's been on the news. I read about it last night. Let me see if I can bring up a story, and I'll just read it to you. Because this is insane. This is just stupid. It's... Just listen to the story, and you'll see how stupid this is. How absolutely gloriously dumb this is. Here we go. DeAndre Baker of the New York Giants and Quinton Dunbar of the Seattle Seahawks are said to have robbed other guests at gunpoint. About $12,000 in cash and watches worth up to $25,000 were taken. Neither man has been arrested yet. A police spokesman said authorities were in touch with the NFL and a lawyer for one player. Obviously, quote unquote, quote, obviously there are attempts to get them to turn themselves in, unquote, Miramar police spokesman Tanya Ruse told the NFL Times. The New York Times. According to the police arrest, the incident occurred after an argument broke out at the house party where guests were playing cards and video games. Baker allegedly took out a gun before he, Dunbar, and another man, described as wearing a red mask, started taking valuables and cash from people. The man in the red mask is not fully identified in the reports. Baker allegedly asked this person to shoot one witness, but the red-masked man did not do so. All three then made off in separate vehicles: a Mercedes-Benz, a Lamborghini, and a BMW. You can't make this stuff up, man. These guys obviously have money. So it's not out of desperation that they're doing this. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Here, I'll continue with the article. It's not that long. The police affidavit said one witness was, quote, under the impression that this was planned out, unquote, as the three getaway vehicles, quote, were later pre-positioned to expedite an immediate departure from the area, unquote. Baker, 22, is facing 8 charges in total, 4 for armed robbery, 4 for armed robbery, and 4 for aggravated assault with a firearm. Dunbar, 27, has been charged with 4 counts of armed robbery. The NFL says it is aware of the incident but has not commented. A statement issued by the New York Giants said they had been in touch with DeAndre Baker and they had no further comment. Both men play as cornerbacks for their respective teams. So, 2 people who play for NFL teams who... obviously, based on the cars they're driving, I don't think they're that hard up for money. Plus, given their position in life, people are going to know who they are. So this isn't exactly something that you can do on the down low, you know? Dre had mentioned earlier in Discord, well, maybe they're broke. No, they're not broke. If you are sincerely broke, then you sell the Mercedes-Benz, you sell the Lamborghini, or you sell the BMW. The insanity here is just... it's stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, and what makes it worse is this one kid, Baker, DeAndre Baker, is 22 years old. He's 22. He just got into the NFL. He just got there. And even if he doesn't make a ton of money, the league minimum is still good money. And he goes and just robs a bunch of people. Same thing with Quinton Dunbar. I've heard of this dude before when he played with the Redskins. I mean, again, even if he's making just the league minimum, it's still good money. It's not like super amazing money, but it's still good money. We're talking several $100,000 a year. Plus a lot of the stuff that he has to deal with, he doesn't have to pay for. He doesn't have to pay for meals. He doesn't have to pay for his uniforms or his cleats or any of that crap. And they go and they rob people at gunpoint. It doesn't make sense to me because obviously these people know who they are. And they know they're going to get reported to police, so why do it? I mean, do they want to go to jail? Apparently they do, because why else would you do something so stupid? You know, I mean, why would you do this? It makes no sense to me. I understand if there's an argument or something, fine, but keep your head about you, man. Why would you do this? I mean, if you're in the NFL, you're already among the elite. Okay? There are tons of people who would give their left, I'm not going to say what it is, their left whatever to get into the NFL and be able to play for an NFL team. And these guys had made it. And they were on contract. And they still do this. It's stupid. I mean, they're gonna go to jail. It's armed robbery, dude. And on top of that, one of them was saying to another one of them that they should shoot somebody. So I don't know how that's all gonna come into play here. But yeah, I mean, both of these guys are going to jail. Enough of that. It's so stupid. Oh my god. On to money matters. And away from morons. House to vote on Democrats' $3 trillion human malware heroes aid. Stimulus checks, money for states, rent assistance. So they're getting ready to vote on this. Probably are voting on it right now. And it looks like there would be, let me see, another round of stimulus payments up to $1,200 per person, which I still think is not enough. I think it's dumb. If you're going to pass all these stimulus checks or all these additional stimulus bills, they need to put more of this money into the hands of individuals and less into big companies. Like in the last bill, it was like a $2 trillion bill. And you know how much of that ended up in regular, everyday taxpayers' hands? Like 20%. That's, I mean, it's 20%. Come on. I mean, seriously, if you give every single person in the United States, well, every single adult in the United States, say $2,500, they're going to go spend it. That's a good way to stimulate the economy. So I don't understand why they don't do this more. Just to kind of give you an overview of what the HEROES, quote-unquote, legislation also includes, and looks like some bullet points here, nearly $1 trillion in aid to state and local governments, extending $600 per week additional for unemployment benefits through January 2021. That's actually really good. Expanded human malware testing, contact tracing, and treatment, and a requirement for the Trump administration to develop a national testing strategy, which they still have not done. Ow. Enhancing tax credits for employers to keep workers on their payrolls. That's good. Support to help renters and homeowners make monthly rent, mortgage, and utility payments. That is very good. $10 billion for the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program to support anticipated increases in participation for food stamps. That's extraordinarily good. $3.6 billion for grants to states for contingency planning and preparations for elections for federal office. That is very good as well. Basically, a lot of this money will end up in the hands of individuals, which is good. Because the extra $600 per week additional unemployment benefit, that's really going to help a lot of people who have been laid off or have been furloughed. Tax credits to keep basically, they're saying that they're going to pay a lot less tax to employers if you keep your people on payroll, which is good because You want them to keep them on payroll. You want them to keep them working. Yeah, they won't get the employee won't get the extra $600 per week for unemployment benefits, but I think in a lot of cases they would much rather keep their job, and depending on what their benefit package is. Because a lot of times you don't get paid very much, but the additional benefits you get from working for a particular company far outweigh the extra money that you would get, say, from unemployment benefits. Because again, a lot of people have their health insurance tied to their employment. $10 billion for supplemental nutritional assistance program, the SNAP program, which here in the United States is, most people refer to it as food stamps, but it's also called SNAP. That's good, because there are going to be a lot of people that are unemployed and they're going to need some help getting groceries. So that's very good. And that money can only be used for groceries. You can't use it for things like cigarettes and liquor and that kind of stuff. I mean, there are roundabout ways you can use it in that way, but let's not talk about that. And then $3.6 billion grants for states for contingency planning and preparation for elections for federal office. We're going to need that, because I don't suspect that this is going to be gone by the time November rolls around, and November is going to be extraordinarily important. I can't think of a time in my life where this November election, not only the presidential election, but all the other elections that come along with it, I cannot think of a more important time in our recent history where this has mattered in the past 80 years, 75 years. I'll say 75 years. Where this has mattered this much. We are all going to need to vote. All of us. Because for too long, a lot of us have been sitting on our butts, not voting. And this is how we kind of ended up in this situation, by not voting. So yes, I sincerely hope, at least here, I know in California, they passed a bill where you can now do vote by mail, which is amazing. And I'm thinking, gosh, I wish we had that here in Texas. You know what else I wish we had here, not only in Texas, but in the United States? The same thing that they do down in Australia, which is compulsory voting. I don't know if you understand what that means. It basically means that whenever an election comes along, like for federal offices, you basically have to vote. If you don't vote, you get fined. So that seems kind of counterintuitive in a way, but I think it's a great idea, because what would you rather do? Pay $200 or just go vote? Even if you vote for like random people, you still have to vote. I mean, that's fine. Maybe some people will take that as a way of thinking, okay, well, I have to vote or I have to pay this money. Let me just go vote, and I might as well vote for somebody I kind of like. So go do that. I think that would be an amazing idea. I think that people would push back against it here in the U.S., but I still think it's a good idea. Compulsory voting. Or at the very least, vote by mail. Vote by mail. Oh, God, that would be so awesome. And the weird thing about it, let me take a sip of my drink here. The weird thing about vote by mail is that there are some people in Washington who are saying, oh, no, we shouldn't do vote by mail. That's, there's the chance for people, fraudulently voting and that sort of thing is a huge concern. And the weird thing is that there are already states here in the U.S. that have been doing vote by mail for a long time. If I remember correctly, Oregon is one of them. And they have not had a problem with people voting illegally or anything like that. And now that California is going to be doing it, it's good, but at the same time, it's not the best thing that I was hoping to happen. The reason why I would hope that Texas would do it is because in California, you already know who California is going to vote for in the presidential election. We already know. It's a given. Okay? They're all going Biden. They're a massive Democratic state. It's just how they're doing it. No, I don't drink. I do not drink, Dre, and you know that. But yeah, they already know they're going to go Biden. So that's why most people are not, most of the government people are not fighting California on this. Now, if a state like Texas, who has been largely Republican for many, many years, that's been recently leaning more Democrat, if they were to pass a bill like that, oh my gosh, I can guarantee you that some officials in Washington would go absolutely insane. They would go nuts. Because of a state like Texas, with our electoral votes, if we were to go to a Democrat, that could really swing the election. It could. Because I think when it comes to population and the electoral votes that we have here in Texas, I think we're like the third or fourth largest state. So if Texas were to swing Democrat, that would swing the election. But enough of me talking about elections, because apparently you all don't care for that. So we're going to do some dueling. Because I've got a score to settle. Let's see, what are we going to do here? We're going to do user deck. Let's see, we have a few decent... Oh, let's go Drays and then Gravekeepers. Let's do Horse again. I've been practicing more and more with Horse. But yeah, lots of insane stuff going on. People are just losing their minds now. We got NFL players robbing people. You know, it is... Well, that's the thing. See, if... Oh my gosh, this is not a great hand. Because again, if Texas were to do mail-in balloting, I mean, I can only imagine... I mean, it would still be close, because there are a ton of Republicans here in Texas. There really are. But at the same time, I think a lot of Republicans here in Texas are also sick of what our fearless leader has been doing. So they may either abstain from voting, or they may just say, screw it, let's give Biden a shot and see what happens. Because that's what a lot of them did 4 years ago with our glorious leader, is they just figured, well, that was the whole thing 4 years ago, is that people were kind of sick of the traditional, you know, lifetime politician sort of thing. And so they wanted to give at the time, the outsider, Mr. Trump, a chance. And I can see, I mean, even at the time, I'm not going to lie, even at the time, I did see that, you know, maybe this wouldn't be such a bad idea. I think I looked at it more in a kind of like ironic, this might be hilarious kind of way. So for about a good 5 minutes back in like 2016, I thought, you know, maybe, you know, at the time, I guess I never imagined that things could go this wrong. And so, yeah, I kind of thought, what the heck, let's do it. I didn't vote for him. I will say that. But for a good 5 minutes, I thought it'd be kind of hilarious. But now, it's not hilarious in the way that I would hope it have been. It's hilarious in the sense that, is this really happening? And it is. It is really happening. It's painful, man. So we gotta try something different. It's obvious that Mr. Trump doesn't have what it takes to be the leader that we need. So, you know, I'm trying to say that in the nicest way possible. Same thing with the people that support him. I don't... How can I put this? I don't dislike them. Like, people that support Trump, I don't hate them. They wanted something different. You know, that's why they voted for him. That's why they supported him. They're like, well, let's give... I mean, same way that I thought for about 5 minutes. They're like, let's give it a shot. Let's just see what happens. And I think that's why most of them voted for him. Over on Twitch, hello, how are you? Well, that's what happens when you vote in a reality TV star. That's true. My whole thing is that I feel like we voted in a clown. And I'm not saying that necessarily as an insult. Okay? There are a lot of clowns out there who are quite entertaining. Like, if you talk to most comedians, they will fully admit, yeah, I'm a clown. That's what I do. That's their job. Their job is to think of goofy stuff and to tell silly jokes. That's their whole thing. That's their shtick. And I think that's kind of how Mr. Trump was, is that, yeah, when you get him on TV and he's just allowed to just blither blather and go and, you know, talk, I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. It really is. But the point at where it stops being funny is that you realize that this person has the nuclear codes. Now, yes, I may find comedians hilarious. Um, Not every comedian I would want as president, though. Some of them I might actually want for president, but most I would not. Okay, I gotta save my Mirage Dragon. You know, it's coming down to the point where we have to understand and we have to realize that, we've dug ourselves. I mean, whatever hole we thought we were in before, we are way further down the hole now. And I'm not going to sit here and act like President Obama was the perfect president. He wasn't. He had his flaws. Every president has their flaws. Clinton, oh my God, Clinton. Oh, Jesus. Good president, terrible person. Terrible person. And I guess that kind of goes to show that somebody can be a good person, but not be a great leader, and vice versa. Clinton was a good leader, but he was, like I said, he was a terrible person. Him doing all that stuff in the office, and just, yeah, that's, yeah, I don't forgive him for that. I liked the fact that he did a good job, but yeah, you don't do that stuff in the office. You just don't, and I don't forgive him for that, and I don't give him a pass for that either. A lot of people have argued with me, what about Clinton? And I'm like, dude, I don't give Clinton a pass. I do not give him a pass, not at all. As far as people doing bad things in office, oh, he does not get a pass. Absolutely not. I lean Democrat, but what he did was absolutely revolting. There are just some things you just don't do when you're in office. Actually, JFK wasn't as decent as you think he is either. And I can freely say this about JFK because I actually have done a lot of reading on him. And I'm not just talking like a Google search. I mean, I've read books on John F. Kennedy. He was he was the same situation. I thought he was a pretty decent leader, but he was not. He was a very flawed man too. He was cheating on Jackie pretty much the entire time that he was in office. And a lot of people don't realize that. He had an affair. I thought this was already well known by most people, but he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. He and his brother had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. It's absolutely 100% true. It's been, it's not even something that people debate anymore. It's like, well, yeah, that happened. So, was JFK a decent person? No. He cheated on his wife. And Jackie, I gotta say this, Jackie, as far as I've read about her, she actually seemed like a very decent person. But again, she was in a situation where it's like, well, I'm married to the president. You don't just divorce the president. Because at the time, it was like that wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind. Is that, the president that, might end up getting divorced because of his shenanigans. And there have been presidents that have done that sort of stuff in the past a lot, where they have cheated on their wife, slept with other women, even had, illegitimate children. It was so yeah. I mean, even then, even as a leader, I thought JFK was pretty good. But even as just a leader, putting aside the whole Marilyn Monroe thing, he screwed up a few times. He did. There was an event called the Bay of Pigs, and if you've never read up or heard about the Bay of Pigs, you got to check it out. It is actually very interesting American history. It really is. In a nutshell, essentially, we sent people over via the CIA. We hired a bunch of people to go and pose as just regular, everyday Cubans who were looking to overthrow the government, but they were hired by the CIA. And so they go over there to Cuba to try and force a revolution. And Castro was like, he was all over it. He knew it was happening, and he squashed it like you would not believe. And they traced it all the way back to the White House. They knew. They're like, yeah, this was something that the White House authorized. And that was a massive embarrassment for JFK. I mean, like, ridiculously embarrassing. That was one of his massive failings. But yeah, if you want to get real into it, definitely go check out a book, or there's some good documentaries on the Bay of Pigs too. But yeah, JFK was definitely not this amazing, flawless person. He was not. He was a pretty good leader. He could speak really well. He was an amazing speaker, but he was not perfect. He was far from it. Pretty much any president out there, they're all going to have their flaws. It's just a matter of how deep is that flaw. Kind of like Clinton. Clinton had a very, very, deeply... He was a deeply flawed man. Good leader, very flawed man. Same thing with Obama. Good leader, good speaker. He was very charming. Well, I shouldn't say was. He's still around. Very charismatic. He could draw people to him, which is good. But at the same time, there were certain things that he did within his presidential term that I thought were, at the very least, misleading to the public. One of the big things is the way that they went about passing Obamacare. Some of the things that he promised obviously didn't happen. And not only that, but they designed it and pushed it on the public in a way that would make people think that they were not going to pay additional taxes when they absolutely were. That was one of the big, things that I had a problem with his presidency, is that they purposely took Obamacare, and like I said, they tailored it in a way, and they spoke about it in a way that people would think that they were just getting free health care and wouldn't have to pay for it. And so that's how they got a lot of support. In the end, is that how it worked? Absolutely not. People had to pay taxes. Because he knew, from a political standpoint, he knew that if he pushed it as a tax, it would never have passed. Absolutely no way it would have ever passed. So that's why they built it and pushed it the way that they did. Underhanded, yes. But I mean, again, I understand why he did that. I just don't agree with it. Because if anybody had actually gone through and read the bill, which most people didn't, even I didn't read the whole bill. That bill was long. That thing was like an 1,100-page bill. It was like stupid long. But yeah, if you get it down into the nitty-gritty and you understand how taxing and that sort of stuff works, then you will start to understand, okay, this is a tax. But again, most Americans don't read through that stuff. And so he just presents it to them in a way that looks good and sounds good, and that's why it passed. And only later did people realize, wait a minute, taxes? That was underhanded of him. I mean, people aren't stupid. People understand that if you implement something like that, it's going to cost more money. It's just going to. You just can't get something for free. It's not at all how it works. Spider. Here comes level 8. We're going to do it from the deck. What do you think of Bernie Sanders? Bernie made a massive mistake. And he is his own undoing. I understand what he's trying to do. I really do. But his mistake, this time around, his mistake was actually praising Fidel Castro. Oh man, why you want to take my monster? Yeah, that was his big mistake. Because he didn't have to do that. But, and I get it. I understand where he was coming from. Like, if you really dig down deep and see what he was really talking about, it makes sense. But again, you have to understand that most people are only going to look at headlines. They're not going to read the entire story. Here's what happened. he was praising the fact that in Cuba, Fidel Castro had implemented a program that got more people to read. And it actually was helpful. It actually did a really good job of getting people to read. And there was a lot of education around that. And you'd think on the surface that's a good thing, is that he's actually helping his people in that way. But again, when people read that headline, they're not going to think, oh, this helped the people. They're going to read, oh, Bernie Sanders is praising Fidel Castro. That's what they're going to think. And he didn't need to do that. He didn't. But he did it anyway. And so that's why I say that he was his own undoing. Because, again, somebody like me who likes to read, and I've mentioned it many, many times on this show, I love reading. I love to read books. If I get into a book that I really enjoy, I can finish that sucker in a day. But again, this is a situation where people are not going to really get into the nitty-gritty of the situation. They're only going to read as far as, you know, like I said, the headline and maybe the byline, and maybe the first paragraph at most. They're not going to really get down into the nitty-gritty and see what was going on. All they see is that Bernie Sanders praised something that Fidel Castro did. And Bernie, being who he is and being in his office, in his position, for as long as he has, he had to have realized that that is how it was going to look. So it's kind of amazing to me that he did that. He had to have known that people were going to see only that. They weren't going to see beyond that. I think Bernie gave a lot of people a little too much credit as far as their attention span. And we'll leave that there. Uh-oh. This is going to get ugly. No, go away. Magic cylinder. Bam! For the win. Josh says, I've got a majority of my cards. I'm waiting on the rest. Excellent. And Josh, if you have not seen my video of the Ignition Assault opening, you missed a great video. That was a good video. I still like that video. It has a whole 30 views, and I still love that video. So that's what I was kind of talking about Dre, because Dre had been like, why don't you buy more of those and do more? Well, that's the thing. You know, if I invest that much money and I get 30 views, is it really worth going through all that again and spending all that money? Nah, not really. I want to. Don't get me wrong. I really want to. But I have to think of it from a business perspective. You know? If I spend X amount of dollars on a video and I get 30 views, it makes no sense to go and make another one. Even though I think it's a good video. I like that video. I really do. It's one of my better videos. I mean, it's just an opening. It's nothing special. How many views was I looking for? Well, as many as possible, obviously. I would hope that it would get at least a few thousand. I kind of knew in the back of my mind that it probably wouldn't, but I took the chance anyway. And ultimately, like I said the other day, it ultimately kind of worked out still. I didn't get the thousands of views that I would hope to get the first couple of days. But I got lucky, and I got something, you know, I got a card in all of those packs that paid for the entire thing. So I got lucky. So I took the chance, and it sort of paid off, but not in the way I had hoped. But yeah, that's my thing. If I can get to the point where each of my videos is getting even just a few thousand views, I'm happy with that. I don't have to get a video with 1 million views. I don't need that. It'd be nice, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to freak out. Ooh, Shadow of a Doubt. Let's go buy some boosters, man. Oh, man, we only have 2233? Thought I had more than that. All right, let's see. We've opened up a lot of packs now. Actually, I need to go work on these guys, too. I don't have much from them. Let's open up Kathy's, and then I'm going to go open up some more gongs. See if he'll finally give me Fulgo. Oh, there you go. Hazy Flame Sphinx. Rocket Arrow Express. Come on, dude. You got to give me Fulgo. That's really the only card I'm waiting on besides Beat. Because if I can't get a Fulgo, I mean, I can still make the deck work, but Fulgo just makes it amazing. Oh, here's another thing I forgot to mention to y'all. I think I mentioned it the other day that I was waiting on my web service. The people that I pay to offer me space on their servers so that I can run my websites. And I think I'd mentioned to y'all that I had purchased a new web domain, and I had bought it last week, like a good eight days ago or so. I'd purchased it, and they had been taking their sweet time in getting that domain ready for me. And eventually, it was 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. I'd just been like, I've been waiting too long for this. Because I had this idea, and sometimes when you have this idea, it's like you want to work on it right now. But if something's holding you back, you have to kind of wait. And so that's what was happening, is that my provider, because they were taking so long in getting this domain ready for me, I eventually just went to another person or another domain registrar and bought the domain from them. And so I had to, write a little message to them and say, please, dump this order. And I was real honest with them. I said, you guys are just taking way too long. I said, I can't wait 8 days for a domain to go through. And a lot of people would argue, well, it takes time. Dude, I ordered it from Google. You know how long it took before I had access to that domain? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And I know people are, oh, well, that's Google. Well, no. That's normally how it is. I mean, occasionally you'll run into roadblocks or problems where it takes a couple of days, but I have never had to wait 8 days. Got it from Google, went there, got the domain I wanted, boom, 3 minutes later, I was working on it. I was already mapping it to my service. And my own service provider couldn't do that for me. They just took way too long. 8 freaking days before they resolved something that was easily done. And it's the thing, I've mentioned to you guys that it's a smaller business, and I like supporting smaller businesses, which is why I even gave them a try to begin with. But at some point, I have to put my business ahead of, well, I want to help the little guy out. I'm a little guy too. I'm not, big multimillionaire. Yes, I got my money back. I made sure I got my money back. But yeah, I want to help small businesses, but in a sense, I'm a small business too. I don't make a ton of money from my websites. I make some, not very much though. And if I get delayed like that, that costs me money. That costs time. And I'm sorry, I can't deal with that. I can't sit around and wait for a week while they're trying to figure out what's going on. I just can't do that. And so that's why I just went to Google and said, screw it. I paid Google the $12 for the first year. And that was it. 3 minutes later, I had the domain, and it was mine, and I was working on it. It sucks that I couldn't get the domain from the people I was already doing business with, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. Yes, I still make money from, not necessarily from my books, but from all the work that I did on other books as a ghostwriter. Let's see. Over on Twitch, I'm building a Dark Magician deck now. Any suggestions? Are you going to be playing it TCG style, or are you going to be playing Duel Link style? Because there is a difference. If you're playing TCG style, hard to say, really. I've actually never built a Dark Magician deck specifically for TCG. So I really don't know exactly how that would work out. But there is a lot of support now. Because even if you just think of things like spell cards and that sort of stuff, Dark Magician has a lot of support. And then when you add in additional things like XYZ monsters and Link monsters, then they even have more support. Write you a rap for your mixtape? Is your mixtape on fire? A mixtape on fire, dog. I can't write rap lyrics. I can't write lyrics, period. That's just not the kind of writing that I do. Let's see, what are we going to grab? Let's just grab the throne. But a Dark Magician deck. From Duel Links, I've seen people playing a lot of Magical Navigation, which is an amazing card. It's a good card, so I think it may have some... Wow. Look at this guy, just going nuts here. But yeah, Magical Navigation is a pretty darn good card. It's a trap card. And I forget exactly what it does, but it basically enables you to bring a Dark Magician very easily. Oh no, he's going to destroy my big dude. That sucks. Okay, now we gotta rethink this, because that dude's pumped up. Okay. I may have to go a bit passive here and just go with the Spy. I'm not gonna use my throne quite yet, because I need another Spiritualist and I need my big dude. So we're just gonna play defensively right now. But isn't there another card out there called Magician's Circle? I think there's Magician's Circle out there. Okay, so we're going to grab... Oh, crap. I didn't want to grab these. Oh, actually, yeah, there it is. Recruiter. Excellent. Okay, so he's going to destroy the Recruiter, and I'm going to be able to get my Spiritualist that way. Oh, you suck. You didn't destroy it. Star Changer. Increase level by 1. Oh, he's going to do another XYZ. But yeah, Magician's Circle and Magical Navigation are the big trap cards you want. Got a ton of support, almost too much. Yeah, there's so much support, it's like you can make several different deck types. Oh my gosh, man. Oh. How do I want to run this? Hold on. I gotta read this guy again. You can activate it. Control set monsters. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 2,000 attack. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, we're gonna do that one. So I'm going to tribute my Recruiter, bring the Oracle. Yes. I'm going to say no to this one. And he's going to lose 2,000. There we go. Nice. And then I get the search. Do I want to grab another Spiritual? Because I can just grab a Spiritualist with my throne. Do I want to grab a Chief? I can grab any of these. And we'll get this one. I mean, we can practice making a Dark Magician deck. I don't have a ton of Dark Magician cards right now, but we can go and we can look through it, see what happens. Okay, let's just work on getting rid of this thing. There we go. Have your opponent's life points. Oh god, that sucks. Okay, there's the Chief. Nice. Okay, now we can do some stuff. Yeah, after this we can go... In fact, I'll buy some boosters from Yugi. And we'll go mess around with Dark Magician. Like I said, I don't have a ton of Dark Magician cards, but we can still see what Yugi gives us. Trey's actually kind of tough, huh? Let's get the Imperial Tombs. Another throne. Might as well use one. I don't have much to choose from now anymore. I already pulled a lot of stuff. Let's grab... I don't really need another spiritualist at this point. What the heck, we'll grab her. Just in case. I think we're good to win here, so... Let's see if we can just finish this. Yeah, we're done. Trey had me on the brink there for a little bit. He had a 41 attacker. Oracle came at the right time. We did it, Kite! Frank that bane! Machu Mech, Crystal Skull, Kanonali Moa. Alright. Dark Magician's Circle and Magician Navigation are good, but they're older. The newest shiny piece that everyone loves is Magician's Souls. Oh, I think I know what that one is. Is that the spell card? Here, we'll go buy some Yugi packs. See what he has to offer. See if he even gives me any Dark Magician stuff. Ebon Illusion Magician. Let me see, is that 2 7s? Oh, that is 2 7s. You can also XYZ this card by using a rank 6 spellcaster type XYZ monster you control as material. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, special summon one spellcaster type normal monster from your hand or deck. Ooh, that's nice. When a spellcaster type normal monster declares an attack, you can target one card your opponent controls, banish it. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not great, because by the time you get it out, you've only got maybe the one Dark Magician left in your deck or in your hand, and you may not have one at all, because you may have already been working on getting it out. So it's okay, I guess. Super Soldier Shield. There's the Dark Magical Circle. This card is activated. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you can reveal one Dark Magician or one spell trap that specifically lists Dark Magician and its texts among them. Add it to your hand. Also, place the remaining cards on top of your deck in any order. If Dark Magician is normal summoned or special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target one card your opponent controls. Banish it. You can only use the effect of Dark Magical Circle once per turn. I still think that's a good card. Solid card. Kiwi Magician. Discard this card. Magician Girl monsters you currently control gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl monster with different names on the field and in the graveyards until the end of this turn. Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. I'm not crazy about that card, especially at 5 stars. I'm not crazy about it, but I still think Dark Magical Circle's good. All right, you give us one more pack. Timaeus, the Knight of Destiny. Okay, we're not gonna mess with Timaeus. Dark Eradicator Warlock. I'm not crazy about this card either. Although it's not terribly difficult to get out. Cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one Dark Magician, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Each time a normal spell card is activated, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. That's not terrible. I don't know if I would play this card in a Dark Magician deck, but it's not horrid. I mean, there are better options now. I mean, when Dark Eradicator Warlock came out, even then, when he came out all those years ago, most people didn't use him. He's not terrible, though. I mean, he's not great. Let's see. No, go back. Back. Do I already have a Magician deck? Like a pre-built Magician deck in here somewhere. I'm sure I do have one. Where are you, Yug? Dark Magic Veil? No. I can't use Dark Magic Veil with Gravekeepers. At least not... well, you can, but simply because of the way the Gravekeeper deck works, it sort of self-nerfs itself. If you know what I mean. Because... if I remember correctly, Dark Magical Veil, that's the one for fusions, right? where basically you can use monsters from your field or your graveyard to fusion summon a monster. That's the problem, because in pretty much every case I want to. Oh, it's not. Okay, well let me look it up here real quick. Dark Magic Veil. I'll look it up real quick. Let's see. Link evolution card list. Let's look this up. Dark Magic Veil. There you are. Okay, let's have a look. Pay 1,000 life points. Special summon one dark spellcaster type monster from your hand or graveyard. Well, even then, this might hurt a little bit too. Because it says from graveyard. And because of Necro Valley, I can't pull from the graveyard. Not in that way. In very specific ways with Gravekeepers you can. And even then, how many dark spellcasters do I run? Let's have a look. Oops, go back. Okay, that's a spellcaster. Well, I think most of these are spellcasters, aren't they? Well, there are a few. I thought there were a few warriors, but no, looks like mostly all spellcasters. Spellcaster. Yeah, the big thing I don't like about it is that when Necro Valley's on the field, that's not going to help you. And I don't generally have problems getting monsters to the field. Simply because of the way this deck is built, I'm usually very, very good about getting monsters from the field. And, like, I'll run this card, Stell, because this basically says even if you have Necro Valley, it'll still work. But Veil, if I have Necro Valley on the field, it's going to limit what I can do with the card. So that's going to suck. Yeah, because all graveyard monsters gain 500 attack. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished to negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. See, so that would not work there. And that's my big thing, is I want to get Necro Valley on the field as quickly as possible. Yeah, I know from the hand, but again, it's, you know, in a way it sort of self-nerfs itself. You know what I mean? Because you can't use it when Necro Valley's on the field. At least not to grab the graveyard. I mean, it's an okay card, don't get me wrong. It has potential, but as far as how the Gravekeeper deck works for me right now, it actually works really well. And if there were a card that I were to take out and give that other one a try, it'd probably be this one, Hidden Temples of Necro Valley. In fact, I'm probably going to sub out one of these copies anyway. Because I like this card, but too many times I've not really been able to get it out. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, like I said, I don't generally have problems getting monsters to the field anyway. I mean, there's just so many ways that this deck gets stuff onto the field. And even then, I've got Throne to do that too. I've got 3 copies of Throne, which will let me get an additional summon from the hand. The only other card that I really miss for this deck, and I don't even really use it much, or I wouldn't use it very much, is going to be Ancient Pixie Dragon. That's it. And even then, most of these cards are in there only because I use them for Pot of Extravagance. The only card I really bring to the field, obviously, is going to be this. The others are in there for just in case. But most of the time, I don't need them. But yeah, this deck actually does really well. The main thing, like I said, about the deck is Necro Valley. Because Necro Valley screws with so many archetypes right now. Like the biggest one, and I've mentioned it before, is Solomon Greats. If I get Necro Valley on the field, Solomon Greats are dead in the water. They can do almost nothing. Because they dig in their graveyards so much. So that's my main thing. But I understand where you're coming from. I see what you're saying. Let me see. Another well, that would still work well with spellcasters. Any other spellcaster deck? Let me see. I think these... No, these aren't spellcasters. These are various. Rock, Aqua, Thunder. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's see. Excuse me. Amazon is a mix of spellcasters and warriors and beasts. I'm going to still try and run it with a Dark Magician deck. Because I've not built a Dark Magician deck. Let's see, is there one actually called Dark Magician? No, there's not. Great. Maybe there's one just called Magicians. Nope, nothing there either. I haven't opened up every deck yet, so that's probably another reason why. Pixie Power! Scarlet Red, Security Dogs. Oh, yeah. Skulls, Soldier or Soldiers or Calcus. Oh my god, that deck is so terrible. Dark Rebellion, Dark Illusion. Trickstars. Aroma. Oh, I love the Aroma cards so much. They're great. And poor Lulu. That deck sucks, but her Fur Hire deck is amazing. Her Fur Hire deck is stupid amazing. Well, I don't have enough cards to really build the Magician deck yet, so let's go and keep pushing the campaign. And we'll get some more Duelist points, and then we'll go get some more packs. In fact, let's play with Dre's kids. That sounds bad. We'll play with the prank kids. The prank kids are pretty amazing too. They can do a lot. Come on, go first. Thank you. Ooh. That's an interesting hand. It's a very interesting hand. Dimensional Prison. So do I want to do Pandemonium or do I want to do Poly? It doesn't really matter. Let's bring our buddy the Weather Washer. I'll put you right here. Let's see. Let's banish that. We'll bring the Dropsies. And we'll bring another Fancies. And we'll bring our dog. Where's my trap? There you are. Send the trap. And then we'll special summon again. We'll do more Dropsies. And who are we going to bring? Yep, we're going to bring another dog. Yeah. That is a nice field. If I would have had something other than Fancies, I would have won that turn. That's amazing. Look at that field. That field is awesome. And I've got a frickin' Solemn Warning. Solemn Warning and Dimensional. I think I'm pretty much locked this person down. I think we've won. Yeah, with the Weather Washer on the field, this backfield is pointless. Yeah, we won. I'm sorry, Quentin. I'm gonna put the place out there just for the heck of it. Yes. We'll bring Lampsies. Damn, turn 4. Could have been a turn 2 if I had something other than fancies. If I would have had Lampsies, because I didn't even use my normal summon there. In that first turn, I did not use my normal summon. So I could have won, but didn't quite work out. Dyson Sphere, Quick Draw Synchron, Woodburg and Patchy. We'll do some more prank kids here, just because they're insane. Come on, go first, go first, go first. Damn it, he's making me go first. I generally like going second with prank kids. I don't really want to play the mine right now. Damn it. Yeah, this is not a great hand. If I were going second, I may not have many options either. This is just not a great hand. The 1200s. People really need the money. Well, some people do. Oh my gosh, he's going to do an 8 star or an 8 rank. Gimmick Puppet of Strings. That's a big bruiser there. Man, we're in a bit of a bind here. This is not a great hand. We're going to have to go with the place. Okay. Yes. Let's grab... I think I'm going to go with Dropsies. You can detach from material, place one string counter on each face-up monster on the field. It's material during the end phase of the opponent's placing the string counters with respect. Destroy the monster with string counters, and if you do... Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's wait on that. I'm just going to hold that monster for now. Wow, nothing, huh? Throw out some reasoning. Level 8. Oh, we're getting it. There's a poly. Oh, nice. That came pretty quickly. Send it wrong. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Okay, we should be able to do some really good stuff here. Actually, do I want to bring the dog or the chicken? Let's bring the dog. The only bad thing is I put this monster in a bad spot. I should have put it over here. It'll get pumped up from this. Well, actually, it won't get pumped up. I think it's only other prank kids. But I'll get 2 more prank kids cards. And the crappy thing is I won't be able to do much with them. Let's see. Let's do more fancies. And send to the graveyard. Let's send pandemonium. Let's get... Who do I have down there? Okay. We can get Roxy's. Alright. Let's see. What can we do here? We'll put that down there. And we'll end our turn there. I have a feeling he's going to bring another XYZ. Ooh. Dreary Doll. That's a creepy looking card. Oh, what are you bringing? Nightmare. Oh, crap. Here we go. He's going to bring another one of these. Okay. So he's going to destroy my dog. He's going to destroy my dog and put a string counter on the other one. So I'm going to have to ram mine into his. I'm going to send the dog away, though. Let's see. Let's do... Yeah. And... Okay. Fusion recycling plant. It's not going to help right now. Okay, so that's only basically what this says is I can put the string counters, but those aren't going to go off until the end of his next turn. Oh, that kind of sucks. Let's see, so we got a Roxy's out there. I could bring the soldier. And then I could banish it. Because I could bring the soldier, destroy his defense monster, and then banish his XYZ. Screw it. We'll bring the soldier. Do I want to do that? Stick a mine, recycling plant. No, we'll just leave that. This is kind of an interesting match. Oh, he's gonna get another one, isn't he? Oh yeah, he's gonna soul charge another one back. Or oh wow, he's bringing a whole bunch back. He's going all out now. Now I really wish that I had the whatchamacallit, the fire guy. Oh man, forget his name. Oh my gosh, what's he bringing? Oh my goodness. The Mystic Mine may need to come into play here now. Oh, he's gonna end it, huh? Yeah. Wow. Okay. I did not want this one. Okay, so I can hit this, use his ability to banish, and then banish that. And then he's at 500, huh? Kind of want to save the dropsies. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I know I could gain 1500 attack, but actually, wait, let me double check something here. No spell cards in your spell check. Okay. You do place one destiny counter. Can I cut it from battle phase? Oh, 3 destiny counters. You win the duel. Oh my gosh. Okay. And this one, that's just the string counters. I'd force him to put them both in defense. I still think it's better to banish. Because I really don't think he's going to ram his monster into mine unless he gets some sort of fill advantage. Yep, he's not going to do it. Lampsies. I've pretty much already won. I just have to go through the motions here. And I win like that. That's I was like, I already have it, so just do this. I'm sorry, Quattro. Gimmick puppet of Leo. The puppet egghead looks so weird. And the gear changer. All the gimmick puppet stuff, if you've not looked over those cards, go look at them. They're all kinds of weird. The art is just really odd on most of them. All right, so we got 3,000 DP. We're gonna go buy some more cards from Yugi. Zombie warrior counts. Oh, regular old dark magician. Beast magic attack. What is this? Remove spell counters from your field. Attack these effects. Return one mystical beast, pendulum monster you control to the hand. Come on, Yug! You gotta give us something good. Lemon Magician Girl. Fiend Sanctuary is actually kind of handy. Dimension Reflector. Tower Rebel, Dark Horizon. When you take battle or effect damage, special summon one dark spellcaster type monster from your deck with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. Oh, dang, that's not continuous. It'd be awesome if that was continuous. Magnetic Field. Dark Burning Magic. Arcana Extra Joker. That card's actually not terrible. Clear Karibo. Dark Burning Magic. If you control monsters whose original names are Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, destroy all... Oh! Ow! Destroy all cards your opponent controls. That's pretty vicious. That's wow. That's really good. Considering how good that could be, I'm surprised it's a common and not in the rare slot. Mega Force Pharaoh's Treasure. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Let's see. Dark Magician Girl +1 Dragon monster must be fusioned with the Itamias. Once per turn, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one face card on the field, destroy that target. Mystic Box. Target one monster your opponent controls and one monster you control. Destroy the first target, then give control of the second target to your opponent. I actually like that with Griggle. Have you ever played with that card, Griggle? Y'all are like, what the heck's a Griggle? Griggle's a goofy card. It's an old card and it's really goofy, but I always liked Mystic Box with Griggle just because it's so stupid. All right, Yug. Magician of Faith, good card. Silent Paladin's a good card. Dark Magic Curtain is... I like it for later in the match because you don't want to pay that your first turn. You do not want to pay off your life points the first turn. Guardian Sphinx, I love that card. Oh god, I love that card. It was amazing back in the day. Not so much today, but Silent Paladin. This is actually a good pack. Magician of Faith, Guardian Sphinx, Dark Magic Curtain, Silent Paladin. Even Royal Magical Library is not bad. That's a good pack. Gateway to Chaos, more Dark Burning Magic, Card Destruction, Magic Reflector, Magician to Black Chaos. Apprentice Magician's pretty decent. All depends on the deck that you're running. But I think Apprentice Magician's not bad. Dimension Mirage. Diffusion Wave Motion. I'm not crazy about that card. Even when it first came out, I was not crazy about that card. But then when it first came out many years ago, there was not a lot of Dark Magician support. So maybe nowadays it's better. Queen's Knight, Defender of the Magic Person, Silent Magician level 8. Hey! I know that card! That's the card we're currently giving away on our giveaway. Really, we actually are. We have a giveaway going right now on slipboard.com to get an actual, real, physical copy of Silent Magician level 8 Ultra Rare. So, yep, we got that going. Lord Gaia the Fierce Knight, Anti-Spell, Catapult Turtle, Beaver. Oh, can't beat the Beaver Warrior. He's coming for your Beaver. And I guess we'll get one pack from Grandpa. Michizuri, it's a good card. Pot of Duality. It's not a terrible card. Certain decks it works really well. Any deck where you special summon like mad, not so much. And the Bone Mouse. It looks like he's missed a few meals. Let's see, actually, let me go back to the card shop. How many? Oh, wow, I still haven't opened up these two. And that's Zexel? Yes, it is Zexel. Okay. Yeah, we're pushing Zexel, but apparently I still need to get a lot. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of people to beat here. Still got tons of people. All right. Let's see, who are we going to run this time? Let's see, we got Amazons, we got Drave's Kids, Gravekeepers, Horus. I like running Horus simply because I know it's not a super easy win with Horus. I actually have to think. Let's run Horus. Horus is not a great deck, but it's fun. It's kind of fun. It can definitely be better. Once I get more cards, Horus deck is going to get better. Let's see, go second, go second, go second. Ah, dang it. Do not like going first with Horus. Let's see, this card destroyed by battle instead of the Gary destroy. Okay. Kind of want to try and save my monster, though. Well, we do have Call. Exploder Dragon, I may need that later, so we'll save that. We'll bring out the Lancer. Blade Bouncer. That actually worked out pretty well. Let's bring our level 6. Wow, nothing, huh? All right. I'm gonna put the slime down there just in case, but we're about to get level 8. Nice. Now all spells are basically negated. Well, all his spells. Heroic Challenger, Night Watchman. Scar attacks spins monster. You can destroy the monster. Oh, okay. You gonna try and switch my monster? Oh, he's gonna call. Oh, do I want to negate that? Okay. He would definitely do XYZ. Let's negate that. Yeah, because I remembered what series I was in. I'm like, I'm in Zexel, so he's gonna X. Oh, you serious? Oh, come on! 2 call the haunted. Get out of here. Now he's gonna XYZ. That sucks. That sucks so much. It happens. He just like, but I have a second one. Oh, that sucks. He pumped up his monster now. Well, my Exploder Dragon is going to come in handy now. But there goes my Horus. Let me see. Does he put backfield? Oh, reinforcement of the army. What are you calling? Another bouncer? Level up. It's actually not bad. Because I've got to call myself, and I can't call my level 8, but I can call my level 6. So first things first, we'll do this. Damn, Exploder Dragon coming in the clutch. Very nice. Good thing I saved him. That's why he's in there, man. He's actually a pretty decent card. I'm a little light on cards now, though. Mass Dragon. Okay, we're gonna go slow and steady here. Well, actually, let me look at his graveyard here. 300 defender and a 14 defender. And I'm... it's a 14 defender. Oh, crap. Let's just play it safe and just take what we can get. Ah, 1,000 defender. All right. Am I running Darkness Metal? No. This is just a straight up Horus. This actually was a Horus/Armed Dragon deck, which surprisingly worked really, really well. But the weird thing I found about the old Armed Dragon/Horus deck that I was running is I could get my monsters out. I could get like level 8 out easy. I could get level 7 out easy. In fact, there were times where I had 2 level 7s, 2 level 8s on the field, but I could not control the field, and I couldn't finish it. I'd get them down to like 500 or 600 life points, and I couldn't finish them off. Like they'd put something out there that would make me stall, and that was it. I couldn't do anything about it. So yeah, it was a little annoying. So I'm like, let me just go with one or the other. So I decided let's just go straight Horus. And again, I didn't have a ton of cards to really work with, so I kind of put in what I had, and that's what I'm working with right now. But it's actually doing okay. It does all right. It doesn't win as much as I'd hoped it would, but it does all right. And now with Call of the Haunted down there, I should be able to finish this off. Oh, what's he going to do here? Oh, the butterfly. Oh, great. What are you bringing? He's bringing that same... Oh, Heroic Champion, Gundiva. That's not the same one. No, it's not the same one. Okay. Oh, but he does get it pumped up. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to bring Exploder back again to get rid of that thing. Because he got rid of another one of my level 8s. That sucks. Okay, so hopefully I'll draw a monster here. If I can draw a monster, I've won. Damn it. That's not the monster I want. Okay, so we're going to call... our Exploder Dragon. I do want to put my slime down. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, 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 no. Don't... Oh! That sucks. Okay, so we're going to defense that. We're going to put our slimes down. We've got 2 slimes down there. And we'll end the turn. Because I could still do some searching with my Masked Dragon. I do have a plan, though. So let me see if I can get him to activate his last ability here. Come on, activate that ability, dude. Please activate your ability. Yes! Thank you! Yes! This is what you call a pro gamer move. Check this out. This is going to be a little hilarious. That's if it works. That's if this works. It should work, but he's got that backfield card. So check this. XYZ the frickin' railgun out. Rank 10 railgun. That's why I have these in. I have them in here just in case I get in trouble. But then I was like, let's put the railgun in there for the fun of it. But look, oh, I love this. This is so awesome. Bam! 2,000 we win. Yes, the railgun for the win. It's not stupid if it works. I mean, they have... I used to run 3 of the slimes, but I took one of the slimes out to put in another wiretap. So the chances of me getting that out were pretty slim, but then I was like, well, it's there. I got to take it. Ooh, another shark booster pack now. The Excalibur's pretty nice, man. Both of those are pretty nice. The Neva Hero Challenger. All right, we're going to go get some more Yugi packs. That's actually a fun match. He got rid of both of my level 8s by battle. That's pretty amazing. Marshmallow. Good solid card. Super Soldier Ritual. Oh my gosh, those Super Soldiers are hard to deal with. Blackluster Soldiers, Sacred Soldier, Silver Gadget, Ties of the Brethren, Watapon. Delta, Red, Dark Red Enchanter, White Dragon Wyvernbuster, Critias, Lesser Dragon, Magic Citadel, Black Illusion. Till the end of this turn, all Dark Spellcaster monsters with 2,000 or more attack you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle. Their effects are negated, and also they are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Actually not bad. Big Shield Gardener, oldie but goodie. Dragon Master Knight, Mythical Institution. Dark Flare Knight, Beginning of Heaven and Earth. Second Sarcophagus Monster Reincarnation. That card wasn't bad. I don't see anybody playing it anymore, but when it first came out, it was actually not terrible. The True Name. Its title, Pyramidal Light, Chosen. Metal Hold, Moving Blockade, Yellow Gadget. This pack was okay, I guess. Declare one card name, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's declared card, if it is the declared card, add it to your hand, and then you can add to your hand or special summon one divine monster from your deck. Otherwise, send it. Oh my gosh. That could be amazingly strong. Wow. Okay. The key would be is when you play it, you want to know what's going to be on top of your deck, though, so that you can make sure it goes off. That's interesting. I wonder if I could... Am I trying to get anything specific out of the Yugi packs? Somebody was in here earlier asking about Dark Magician support, and I've actually never run a Dark Magician deck myself. I do know of a few of the cards, but I was like, yeah, we can buy some Yugi boosters and see what we get. So, yeah, because initially I had this. Well, Angel, you've been watching me a little while, haven't you? Your name seems familiar. You knew that I had this on Switch, and then I recently repurchased it on PC, so I'm having to get all the cards again. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. And yeah, I still need to open up a couple of boosters. This one and the one after Varus. But yeah, they were asking about Dark Magician stuff, so I was like, we can buy some Yugi packs, see what's in there. Yeah, it's not so bad. I don't mind doing it. If anything, it's forcing me to use other cards that I wouldn't normally have used, and some of them have actually worked out pretty well. Like when I was playing on Switch, I didn't have a Horus deck, and now I have a Horus deck. So that's good. Let me think. What other packs? The only cards that I really needed from Kaiba I've already gotten. And of course, Mai's not going to give me anything else. She's greedy. Yeah. Sometimes you need to be taken out of your comfort zone so that you can adapt and try something different. Interestingly enough, that's what happened with Prank Kids. Like Dre, one of the people that's been watching me for years now over on YouTube. He was like, make a Prank Kids deck. And I was like, I don't want to make it. He's like, nah, dude, make it. Make the Prank Kids. I was like, fine, I'll make a Prank Kids deck. So I just actually went to the internet, looked up a Prank Kids deck, and basically net decked and said, okay, I'm going to play this. So I got all the cards for it, played it. The first few matches were a little weird because I didn't know how they worked. But then after that, I was like, wow, these are actually really good. And so I'm actually kind of glad that I built that Prank Kids deck because it's pretty fun. In fact, here, I'll play it right now. I'll probably lose, but we'll try it now. Let's see. Prank Kids. We were playing them earlier. There we go. Dre's Kids. All right, we want to go second. I'm going second. Good. All right, Reginald. What do you got? Franklin's Pranks, Pinpoint card, trigger swap. This is an interesting hand. Let me see what I draw into. Pandemonium. It's actually not bad. Pandemonium's actually not bad at all. Let me see. That I can discard. Let's see. Let's not use my normal summon yet. And let's just do the Pandemonium. I may only get 2 summons out of this, so I need to put him here. That's another thing about Prank Kids. You generally want to think about where you put your fusions and your links, because they pump each other up, or at least the links pump up all the other stuff. So we're gonna put that there. We're gonna get Lampsey's ability too, so he's gonna take 5. We're gonna get our 2 special summons. Let's see. Who did we drop in there? Oh, that's we'll get Roxy's first. And then we'll get Dropsies. Oops. Oh, that goes to the graveyard. Oh, I made a mistake there. That's all right. We're okay. We're good. We can still work with that. Okay. Given how much I was able to do with just that, I probably should have put this guy here. I probably should have put him here, because I'm going to bring the dog. Here, we'll bring the dog out. The Bow Wow. We're going to send that. We're going to send that away. And this is why I'm saying I probably should have moved him over, because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this much with it. Well, there's the dog. And so now I get the Roxy's effect, and then I should get the Dropsy's effect. Gain 1,000. Special summon a monster. And let's see, banish from the hand. Let's get rid of... Do I want to get rid of this one? I don't really need the pranks right now. Yeah, we'll get rid of that and we'll draw a card. A Polly! How nice! That's beautiful. And then we'll bring Fancies. Okay, this actually worked out pretty well, because I was actually hoping that I could have got a dog, and then a Weather Washer, but I drew the Polly, so we should be able to do more with the Polly now. Let's grab another Weather Washer. So I've got 2,000 attackers, and then I've got a 3,000 attacking Weather Washer. See, initially I probably should have gotten 2 dogs. So put the dog here, put another dog there. That dog would then pump up this dog, and then when I put the Weather Washer here, that dog would pump up the Weather Washer. See what I mean? So I should have 2,000, 3,000, 3,000, but I've got 2, 3, and 2, which is fine. It's fine. It's not terrible. It's still very good. And then the Weather Washer, of course, is very good because it basically makes their backfield useless. So we're still going to do a nice chunk of damage to them. Very nice. And now, well, I don't think I'll need it. We'll throw Pinpoint Guard down there. I doubt that I'll need it, though, because I've already got them on the ropes. Yeah, amazingly, this Prank Kids deck only has 12 monsters, but it's still pretty amazing. Ooh, what are you doing here? Target one face fish monster. Monster you can gain 1,000 attack. Okay. So he's trying to pump it up. Let me see what he does here. Which are you gonna go for? You gonna go for my Weather Washer? Damn it. That's actually not bad. We'll use the Pinpoint Guard now. So I can bring back, we'll bring back Lampsey's. He's still gonna hit my Weather Washer, but that's okay. Sitting there with his 2 cards, like, what the hell? Yeah, Prank Kids are pretty amazing. If you can get them rolling, they're pretty awesome. Okay, Upstart Goblin. Yeah, screw it. I'll give you 1,000 life points. Pandemonium. I don't really need to do this. I can actually do this. I'll just creature swap it. Man, that creature swap in this deck is amazing. This deck is so fun, man. I don't know how well it would do in ranked duels, but in these duels, it's pretty darn fun. You can just do so much with it. It's just so insane. Now, you can still get bricky hands. That does still happen, but it's not that much. Let's see, 1702. What packs do we want to grab? We can grab something else besides Yugi packs. I'm trying to think, what else do I need? I still need stuff from Gong, but I've already bought so much from him. Did I need anything from Soulburner? I don't think I did. I think I already got what I needed from Varus. Playmaker, I think I already got what I needed from him. Zuzu has good stuff. We'll buy some Zuzu packs. Almost all the stuff in Zuzu's packs are good. She's got lots of Gem Knights and Predaplants and gear stuff. And Gladiator Beast. Excuse me. Bad Aim, Gladiator Beast, Tigress. Reactor Dragon, that's a good card. Retaliating Sea. More Gladiator Beast stuff. Yeah, she's got a lot of good stuff, and like all of the archetypes that she helps out, they're all good. Well, I like Gladiator Beasts. Obviously, Ancient Gear is good. Frightfur stuff, the Fluffle stuff is oh my gosh. I've not built one of those decks yet, but I've played against it, and those decks are insane. They can beat you pretty hard. They usually take like 2 or 3 turns to get to you, but they're pretty amazing once they get set up. Suture Rebirth, more Fluffle stuff. Oh yeah, Rescue Rabbit. Dr. Frankenderp, Infernoid. That's actually one of her weaker packs right there. Gemknight Obsidian. Zirconia, Brilliant Fusion, great card. Gladiator's Return. Oh yeah, she also does the Melodist stuff. The Melodist Diva stuff. There's Cannon and Serenade. Pianissimo. Yeah, she has a lot of good stuff. Oh man, well, I think that's gonna do it for me for the day, guys. I'm gonna go get some lunch. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Again, there really is a giveaway. I'm not kidding. For Silent Magician level 8, slumlord.com. It should be the first post that you see there, and then it just takes you to the Gleam app. If you're not familiar with Gleam, Gleam is like a giveaway app that they have. But yeah, get signed up for that. It's free, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably maybe about the same time or so. We'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Subscribe, all that other stuff, even though I don't like saying that. And until then, be nice to each other, eat potatoes, wear a mask, and get your game on.